When I started my investment journey, the one of the biggest mistake which I've committed is I used to ignore blue chip stocks. The stocks like Reliance, Titan, HDFC Bank. What I used to think is these stocks they have already created huge wealth in the past. They cannot create wealth in the future. Friends, that's absolutely wrong. They would have already created wealth in the history, but it doesn't mean that they cannot grow in the future. It doesn't mean that they cannot create wealth in the future. Friends, these stocks, they are the leader in the segment. These business, they are the well-established business. They are continue to grow, they are continue to innovate, they are continue to create wealth in the future also. Friends, the goal of every investor is to create wealth in the equity market. They want to generate multi-bagger return. Friends, if you want to get a multi-bagger return, you should invest into small and mid-cap category stocks. They can generate a multi-bagger return. In the same time, they can correct also. That's the reason when you invest in a blue chip stock, it will give more stability to your portfolio.
Hello friends, this is Vijay and welcome back to my channel. Friends, in this video, I would like to discuss about top two large cap category mutual fund. One is HDFC large cap fund. Second one is Nippon India large cap fund. Both fund, they have created huge wealth for many investors. Friends, in this video, I would like to discuss more about these funds. Friends, you can stay till the end because you will be learning a lot in this video. Let's get started. HDFC Large Cap Fund, which was started in 1996. It's been 29 years now. If you look at the AUM, asset under management, which is 37 crores. If you look at the expense ratio, which is 1.40 percentage. If you look at the NAV, net asset value, which is 1,458. If you look at the asset allocation, 95% of allocation into equity market, 5% of allocation into debt market. Within equity, 80% of allocation into large cap, 10% of allocation into mid cap, again 5% of allocation into small cap. Fund has got good diversification across the market capitalization. If you look at the top 5 sectors, 10% of allocation into healthcare, 9% of allocation into communication services, 8% of allocation into utilities, 7% of allocation into finance, 6% of allocation into real estate. If you look at the top 10 stocks, HDFC Bank, ICICI Bank, Larsen and Torbro, Bharti Airtel, NTPC, Axis Bank, Infosys, Kotak Mahindra Bank, Reliance Industry, and IDC. If you look at the fund manager, Rahul Baijal is the fund manager. He has got 25 years of experience in the industry. Since 2022, he has been managing the fund. If you look at the return, since inception, the fund has generated 18% of return, which is very good. 10,000 rupees SIP in the scheme since inception. Now your investment value will become 35 lakh. Market value will become 9 crore rupees. This is how this fund has created huge wealth for many investors. Nippon India Large Cap Fund, which was started in 2007. If you look at the AUM, asset under management, which is 45,000 crores. If you look at the expense ratio, which is 1.50 percentage. If you look at the NAV, net asset value, which is 96. If you look at the asset allocation, 95% of allocation into equity market, 5% of allocation into debt market. Within equity, 82% of allocation into large cap, 7% of allocation into mid cap, 6% of allocation into small cap. If you look at the top 5 sectors, 25% of allocation into banks, 8% of allocation into FMCG, fast moving consumer goods, 7% of allocation into petroleum products, 6% of allocation into power, 5% of allocation into automobile. If you look at the top 10 holdings, HDFC Bank, ICICI Bank, Reliance Industry, State Bank of India, ITC, L&T, Larsen and Torbro, Bajaj Finance, Axis Bank, Tata Power and NTPC Limited. If you look at the fund manager, Shailesh Raj is the fund manager. He has got 15 years of experience in the industry. Since 2021, he has been managing the fund. If you look at the return, since inception, the fund has generated 15% of return, which is very good. 15,000 rupees SIP in the scheme since inception. Now your investment value will become 28 lakh, market value will become 1 crore rupees. This is how this fund has created huge wealth for many investors. Friends, in this video, we have discussed about Nippon India Large Cap Fund and HDFC Large Cap Fund. Friends, if you're looking for a stable return with a less volatility, then investing into the large cap category mutual fund is one of the best option.
Friends, if you compare with the Indian large cap company with a global context, still Indian large cap companies, they are too small. You can see here, if you compare the market capitalization between Indian large cap company and US large cap company, the market capitalization of Reliance Industry, which is 197 US billion dollar. If you look at the Microsoft, which is a market capitalization, which is 3,400 US billion dollar. If you look at the Apple, which is 3,400 US billion dollar. If you look at the TCS, which is 174 US billion dollar. If you look at the HDFC Bank, which is 150 US billion dollar. If you look at the Nvidia, which is 3,000 US billion dollar. If you compare the market capitalization between Indian large cap company with regards to the US large cap company, Indian large cap companies are too small. I think when India grows, when India become a third largest economy, these large cap companies, they are going to benefit a lot in the future.
Friends, I hope you found this video useful. If you like this video, please to subscribe, please to share it with the community. If you require any help with regards to the mutual fund investment, you can contact me in the below link. Thank you so much.